All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Shine Greymon deck. Shine. This is a new iteration for BT21. So let's get on with it. So first, we are running 4 of the new Koromon, BT21's Koromon that when any of your yellow or red tamer suspends, you get to draw a card, which is really nice. You definitely want to get the draws going because this deck is kind of bricky. So you do want to go with the Searcher Agumon 4 of. This is the one that on play reveals 4, and then you may add 1 Greymon name and 1 Marcus. And you might even want to consider just playing this guy first turn, even if he is the only card in your hand, just because you really want to get your pieces. Like I mentioned, this is a really bricky deck if you don't have the good ratios going on, because there's so many cards you need to make room for. So definitely be aware of that. Make sure that you are picking up the right pieces, including the ones off of this search. You definitely want to pick up the cards that you don't have as many of in this deck. Like I said, there's very little room for you to work with outside of the 50, of course. We have 4 of the Agumon that makes a Marcus be able to punch. That is very important. The Marcuses have really nice abilities that you want to be able to trigger, and this Agumon is able to do that. And it does it for free. So a very nice Agumon to have. Combos very well with the Koromon. So a 4 of the Searcher, 4 of the activating Agumon. We go with 2 of the new BT21 Agumon. Its ability is not super great early game, where your opponent has a level 6 or higher. And you have 3 or more hero trait tamers with different names. The Digimon may Digivolve into Shine Greymon, basically warping for 4 if your opponent has a level 6 or higher. That may not be the case, especially with some decks that are not running levels or level 6s as much. But you still want to be able to have that ability, right? So this Agumon definitely does that. It has a DP boost inheritable. Only 2 of them, however. That puts us as 10 rookies. But we do run 12, with 2 of them being the EX4 Agumon, which if you have a red or yellow tamer in play, you gain 1 memory at the start of your main phase. This is actually really nice to have. And then if you when inheritable, when you have a red or yellow tamer becomes suspended, you draw 1. Again, you draw engine situation is really important, and more so you are here at having 12 rookies, which is not a high number. I'd definitely rather have 13 or 14, but again, we just need the room. You run 1 of the BT13 Greymon, limited card. You can only run 1, and you do run it 1 because it is just so good. If you're not aware, when digivolving, you may search your security stack, and you may play 1 red or yellow tamer card among them without paying the cost. And if you did so, then you get to recover a card. You can basically play a tamer from your security with this card. Really nice. If you're not aware of it, definitely look it up because it's really good. Really, really good. We earn 4 of the BT12 Greymon that if you don't have a Marcus, you get to play a Marcus because you really get your Marcuses down on the board. This card is really nice for doing that. Getting a Marcus down for free, getting your first one at least, is really nice to have. And then you're inheritable when one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP. Solid Greymon. I just like to have it early. That's why I run 4, so I can get a Marcus out for free and start comboing right away, potentially. If you get the right Marcus, then this Greymon is really useful. However, I really do like the new BT21 Greymon. I think it's a little bit better. When any of your Marcus are played, this Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow card with Rise Greymon in its name without paying the cost. So if you have this guy already out there, you can play a Marcus and then Digivolve into Rise Greymon. And Rise Greymon, as you'll see, the new BT21, is really, really nice to have. So getting this Greymon to Digivolve without paying the cost for free with playing a Marcus is incredible. This Greymon is going to be doing quite a lot. So you got to do run 4 of with it. So like you get to play the Marcus. You play full price, but you get Digivolve for free, which is also a really nice combo to have. We also run 1 of the EX4 Greymon just to get 1 more Greymon in there. You are running 9. I'd rather have 10 because, again, this deck can get bricky. If you have a red or yellow tamer in play, you gain 1 memory at the start of your main. Super cool. And then inheritable, when one of your red or yellow tamers suspends, draw 1. One of those guys. Here is the big guy, BT21's Rise Greymon. This is one of the best cards that has been added to this deck. If you're not aware, on play or when digivolving, for the turn, one of your Marcuses is treated as a 3000 DP Digimon, can't Digivolve, gains Rush and Alliance, and then one of your Digimon may attack, which would include Marcus. So you can get a Marcus to go out there, Rush, Alliance, and attack all simultaneously. So if you have this Greymon, you can Digivolve to this Rise Greymon, and you play a Marcus, you get a Digivolve for free into this Rise Greymon, then the Marcus gets to Rush, Alliance, attack, and become a Digimon all simultaneously. And then, of course, when any of your yellow or red tamers are deleted, you may place a Marcus from your trash as your top security. So if that Marcus gets deleted when attacking, you can put it as your top security. This Rush Greymon is busted. 4 of, no questions asked. Definitely run it at 4. It does so much for you with nice combos. It can get a lot done at that level 5. We run 3 of the BT13 Rise Greymon, which lets you, when Digivolving on, play a Marcus without paying the cost. Then, of course, all turns when one of your red or yellow tamers is deleted, you can place a Marcus from your trash on top of your security. So again, cycling your Marcus is putting them back into security. And inheritable, when one of your red or yellow tamers is deleted, you can still place a Marcus on top of your deck. So this card is just putting Marcuses on top of your deck, which is really nice to have. I run 3. You could run 4, but I'd rather make room for one of the Rise Greymon X Antibody, which you may play a yellow or red tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. Then if Rise Greymon or X Antibodies and Digimon Evolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 for each of the tamers. So that could combo really nicely with some Marcuses to kill a Digimon, or with some abilities to kill a Digimon. And then for each tamer you have, this Digimon gains plus 1,000. So if you're having trouble drawing your level 6s, for example, it's because you do have to reduce the number. This Digimon gets to be pretty strong and work as a level 5. A little bit of a flex situation, if you will. Could be a pretty strong Rise Greymon. Next, I run 3 of the BT12 Shine Greymon, which when Digivolving for each yellow and red tamer you have in your in play, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security get minus 3,000. So this lets your Marcuses hit better into your opponent's security, and any Digimon really, because minus 3,000 is pretty nice. And then on your turn, or all turns, on your turn, all of your Marcuses in play gets plus 3,000 and check plus 1. So it makes your Marcuses be able to punch just a little bit harder, a little bit stronger into your opponent's security, which is a really nice thing to have. And of course, those Marcuses, as they punch, you get abilities off. I am also running 2 of the new BT21 Shine Greymon. I think this is a pretty nice card, and honestly, I'd probably consider running maybe more of them in exchange for the older one. It does have raid, just a natural raid. And then when Digivolving or when attacking, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 9,000 DP or less. Ideally, you reduce your opponent's DP with your Marcuses or with other abilities. And then you'll be able to target it with the 9,000 DP delete. In addition to that, when attacking, you can suspend one of your yellow or red tamers, and this Digimon gains security attack plus 1 and 3,000. It's a bit of a almost alliance situation. But really, since your Marcuses aren't Digimon, you're kind of alliancing with a Marcus here, which is really cool. Gets your opponent to start losing more security. And so again, we only have 5 level 6s. I run 1 of the Shine Greymon Burst Mode Ace, because you just kind of need to have an ace sometimes, ace up your sleeve. It's really nice to surprise your opponent. What does this burst mode do? You may play 1 tamer card from your hand without paying the cost, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 for each of your tamers. That could potentially delete your opponent's strong Digimon, as well as play a Marcus on the board. And then when attacking, by suspending up to 2 of your yellow tamers, for each one, this Digimon gains check plus 1. So if you have a couple Marcuses out there, this card can get potentially 3 checks into your opponent's security. You could also just play it for 8 if you really have to delete a Digimon, you have a bunch of Marcuses out. And then on the side, we also run the BT13 Burst Mode. A really important card. I wouldn't blame you if you just make it 2 of this card, because this card is just so good at finishing off your opponent, right? If you're not aware, this one Burst, which Digivolves for 0 by on top of a Shine Greymon by returning a Marcus to your hand. And then at the end, you trash the top card. So this card goes away and becomes a Shine Greymon again. But then when Digivolving, you may play a Marcus from your hand without paying the cost. And then for the turn, that tamer played by this effect, also treated as a 12,000 DP Digimon, can Digivolve and gains Rush. So that Marcus can attack right away. And then when one of your tamers becomes suspended, you can trash your opponent's top security card. So a lot happening there. You can play a Marcus. Your Marcus can punch by rushing. and then you trash because of that attack, and then it itself can attack after. Lots of things going on. This card combos to finish off your opponent very strongly. Again, you could play 2. I'm just running 1, but 2 is perfectly fine. I would definitely do that. I would definitely consider doing that. Next, 4 of the BT12 Marcus. Start with your main. You can pay 1 memory to make this basically become a Digimon and can attack with 3000 DP. And then when this tamer becomes suspended, you can Digivolve for free. This is really a huge engine to the deck. Digivolve for free is really nice to have. As you can see, there's a lot of effects when Digivolving that you want to get off. And this Marcus, being able to get 1 attack off is super good. This is just a 4 of. This Marcus is the best one. Best Marcus. Run 4. Second, you run the other Marcus, which is the BT13 Marcus, which is the memory setter. Run 3 of them. On play, you can suspend, and then when this tamer becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000. And then if you have an Agumon or Greymon in its name, you gain 1 memory. So you could potentially play for 4. Minus 3000 DP your opponent. It can combo with other cards to do some DP shenanigans. For example, with this one, it's a total of 12k that can get deleted, for example, or reduced. Super nice Marcus. Then 2 of the new BT21 Marcus that is the start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, you gain 1 memory. And then on play, one of your Marcuses may suspend. Then all turns, once per turn, when this tamer suspends, one of your Digimon gains piercing and plus 3000 DP for the turn. Then one of your opponents gets minus 3000. So doing multiple things, as well as it's like a combination of a mix of different things that you may want to do, as well as gain memories. Very versatile Marcus. I really like it in this deck. Then I mentioned that this is a bricky deck. This card helps you unbrick. We run 3 physical trainings. I just really like the fact that you can Digivolve for cheaper, make it happen, and then of course be able to search. Very versatile card that really works here. I can also see it 1 or 2 of these being yellow memory boost. I wouldn't blame you if that is the case, because you could potentially use that memory to play for Marcuses. But right now we're treating it as like we're going to try to get up this Digivolution chain by searching, by drawing cards sometimes, and of course looking for them with the physical training. So even if you don't have a Ricky, sometimes the physical training in your hand can maybe draw it for you or get some pieces that you may need for later. So definitely big part of what you must consider is yellow physical trainings or yellow memory boost if you don't have them. Or I think Scramble would be okay, but Scramble you have to Digivolve. You don't get to search. Not having the search option does not help you unbrick, and Shine Greymon does like to build houses, so we definitely want to use that physical training to unbrick. And then last but not least, 1, the Champion Ultimate Fighter. This is an option card in its main. For the turn, one of your Marcuses is also treated as a 12,000 DP Digimon. Can't Digivolve, but does gain Rush. Then that Digimon may attack your opponent's Digimon, and your opponent's unsuspend Digimon can also be attacked by this effect. So you could potentially have Marcus punch into a Digimon and trigger some of its abilities going on with it. For example, if you use this Marcus and you use it to punch, one of your Marcuses becomes suspends against piercing and another plus 3000, swinging potentially for 15,000. That's a powerful Marcus punch going on into your opponent. This is a really cool, nice card that lets you delete something standing, lets you have a Marcus turn into a Digimon. Not just that, but also be able to hit for really hard 12k and gain Rush, meaning it can attack the same exact turn while essentially blitzing, meaning it's attacking your opponent's Digimon, right? So all of that is good stuff, definitely happening. So this is my first iteration of the Shine Greymon deck. I think it's pretty nice, good ratios going on. But if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.